Lord, we ask you this evening to please bless and watch over our Sangamon County employees and their families. Please take care of our first responders and military around the world and their families. Please help us this evening to make wise decisions for our constituents and to help them as needed. We ask all this in your name, Jesus. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk will call the roll.
Ayers. Canman. Constant. Davsco. Diener. Del Giorno. Deppie. Nogus Williams. Forsyth. Frazee. Fulgenzi. Guyton. Hall. Correll. Lathan.
Excused.
Madonia. McGuire. Mendenhall. Miller. Rader. Scaife. Shackman.
Excused.
Shepard. Small. Thank you. Stump. Thomas. Shumlin. Truax. And the chairman's present. 26 present, 3 absent.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. This is a good moment for me to remind everyone we are live. We are broadcasting live on radio or verbally. We are not live visually. We still have some technical problems, but we are continuing to work on those, and we're testing something tonight that our experts think may work. So stand by for further information. Secondly, all of these calling out the absences reminds me to tell you that the ad hoc committee working on revising the county board's rules has made great progress. They've now sent their proposals to legal. Legal's going to review it over the next few weeks, and then I think if all goes well, it should be ready to submit to all the board members to take a look at, we hope, for the September board meeting. All right, proceeding in the regular order. Proclamations. The chair is aware of no proclamations, but we have 2 presentations. And the first presentation is from our coroner, Mr. Allman. Do you want your whole gang to come down?
For the photo at the end, if that's okay, or they can stand behind me. It's entirely up to you guys.
Okay,
Whatever you want to do. Come on. Come on. Absolutely. Yes. Love it. Thank you. Awesome.
And Jim, you can raise that podium so it's easier to. You're on the mic.
Okay.
You got to
Thank
raise the whole podium there.
All right.
We're all learning that. Yeah.
Hey. Good evening, Chairman Van Meter, members of the county board. Thank you so much for allowing us to come and spend a few minutes with you. It's always good to get a chance to see everybody. We've your coroner's office has earned national accreditation. It's a distinction that recognizes the office for achieving the highest standards of professionalism, transparency, and service to the public. The recent opening of our new regional morgue supports the coroner's office in meeting these rigorous standards. By bringing autopsy, storage, investigation, and administrative functions together in one modern facility, the office can work more efficiently and can coordinate more effectively. This setup helps us ensure the highest quality service for residents in Sangamon County. I think we're going. It's okay. We're fine. We're going to talk. Yes, we'll talk a little bit if I have time. The accreditation followed a comprehensive review process. In this process, we were evaluated against 285 internationally recognized standards. To qualify agencies, we must demonstrate 100% compliance with all mandatory standards and a willingness to undergo an external evaluation. The accreditation review examined a broad range of practices, including administrative operations, investigative protocols, forensic standards, and facility management. The process is voluntary and only 52 coroner or medical examiners' offices in the nation have achieved this honor. We are the 4th coroner's office in Illinois to receive this accreditation, and the 1st in downstate Illinois. So McHenry County, Lake County, King County, and Sangamon. This accreditation is more than just a certificate. It recognizes the work that we do every day and the standards that we hold ourselves to. From the moment a call comes in to the time we complete our reports, our office approaches every case with professionalism, compassion, and attention to detail. I'm incredibly proud of my staff and the work that they do to serve families in some of the most difficult times. This recognition belongs to them. I really do. Thank you. If I'm doing okay on time, which I believe I got a couple minutes left, just to kind of give you guys a little snapshot of what we've been doing. We have been extremely busy, well, unfortunately, obviously, but a regional morgue has been put together to assist the smaller counties and to help bring some revenue streams into Sangamon County. And that's what we've done. Everything seems to be going well. It was a long time ago, and we sure appreciate all the support and all the meetings you guys had to attend. And we really appreciate everything you guys do for us. And we just wanted to say thank you and wanted to share this is our biggest accomplishment today. So this is big for us. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Is that okay?
Yeah, you went to one down in the well here, yeah. I want to double check with our technical staff. Do we know for sure that that Coroner Allman's voice was being picked up and it worked fine? Okay, all right, good, good. All right, the next presentation we have is our report from our external auditors. Oh, Mr. Goldman.
Yes,
Oh, as is his wont, Mr. Goldman's going to wake everybody up before this report.
I am.
Mr. Goldman.
I am. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just to review the process, in January of the years, they usually come in with the outside. We have a planning meeting with the outside auditors. Then in March, usually there's 2 weeks they are on site looking at all the information they need to look at. And then this time of year, they have a formal report to the board. So with that, our auditors are Clifton Larson and Allen, and Faith Freeman is here also, along with Brian Mateus. So Faith will give the report.
I'll lower it a little bit.
We might be here a while. No, I'm just.
It's perfect, thank you. Hello, my name's Faith Freeman and I'm assurance manager with CLA and have had the opportunity to work on the Sangamon County audit engagement for several years now, and I'm here today to present the fiscal year 24 audit report. The audit is performed using a risk-based approach, which means that time spent understanding and testing each audit area is determined based on the level of assessed risk. Risk is assessed based on significant account balances, significant issues, and findings in the past. The significant audit areas we focus on this year include internal controls, including information technology, cash and investments, exchange and non-exchange revenues, payables and accrued liabilities, which include the self-insurance liability and the compensated absences, pension and OPEB liabilities, which are estimates completed by the plan auditors, and lastly, the financial close and reporting process. The audit deliverables, which are the reports that are issued, include the annual financial report, the single audit report, which is the federal expenditures audit, and the consolidated year-end financial report, which includes both state and federal expenditures, the governance communication letter, which is used to communicate key audit information, and lastly, the management letter, which is used to provide additional recommendations. I am happy to report a clean, unmodified audit opinion on both the financial statements and each major federal program. This is the highest level of opinion one can receive. Also on this slide here, we do have a few financial statement highlights. However, I will not go into detail on this information since it is related to information presented as of 11/30/24, which was some time ago. The next section of the update is the single audit report, which includes both the Government Auditing Standards Report on internal control over financial reporting and the Uniform Grant Guidance Report on compliance for each major federal program, internal control over compliance, and on the schedule of expenditures of federal awards. The Government Auditing Standards Report did report 2 financial statement findings this year that are the same findings from prior year, although the specific items in each are slightly different. The first one was related to several material adjusting journal entries which were required to be in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. The second was for the preparation of the schedule of expenditures of federal awards and the consolidated year-end financial report. Also, I would like to mention that each one of these items was corrected through the audit. Next on this slide, we have the Uniform Guidance Report, which did report 3 findings on major federal programs tested, each relating to the LIHEAP grant program, which is managed by the Community Resource Department. All 3 of these findings are repeated from the prior year. However, we did see significant improvements in each. I would also like to point out, and I'm happy to report that there were several prior year findings cleaned up and not repeated this year, related to the federal fiscal relief funds, which is managed by the County Auditor's Office. So really great work there. The third deliverable we have here is the Consolidated Year-End Financial Report, which is used to report both state and federal expenditures in accordance with the Grant Accountability and Transparency Act. This is a report required by the state. We believe that this information is fairly stated in relation to the basic financial statements as a whole. The next section of the update is related to the governance communication letter, which I will go through in a high-level detail. There were no new GASBs that impacted the financial statements this year. As a reminder, GASB 101 compensated absences will be applicable for fiscal year 25. There were no other significant changes of accounting policies impacting your financial statements, and there were no transactions that lacked authoritative guidance. The significant estimate impacting the annual financial report included the total OPEB liability and deferred outflows and inflows. CLA feels comfortable with management's estimates. There were no difficulties with management and no disagreements encountered. There were several adjustments in the audit process which will be included, attached to the letter, and some past minor adjustments also that will be attached to the letter. The last deliverable is the management letter, which is used to report items that are not considered significant and therefore do not merit the attention of governance. These are just additional recommendations to help strengthen controls and oversight. Prepaid contracts, interfund activities and balances, which were both repeats from the prior year, and then 2 new comments added this year. The first related to revenue reclasses, and the last one related to segregation of duties and documentation of review and of approvals at the Circuit Clerk Office. Lastly, I would like to thank the Auditor's Office for everything they do to prepare for the audit and all their help in accumulating the audit documentation needed. They really do a great job to keep things moving and providing the support and answers needed for us to complete our jobs. Any questions?
Any questions for the auditor? Mr. Stump?
Mine's just a statement. Again, we thank you on behalf of the Finance Committee. We thank you for your report that was given to us tonight before this meeting and the job that you've done on the outside audit. We'd
Thank you very much. If anyone does have any questions, we can leave some business cards here, or you can contact me or the auditor's office at any time. I appreciate all your time here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, proceeding in the regular, just a reminder, everyone, you gotta use the microphone, because in theory, people are listening. So be sure and speak into the microphone. Okay, proceeding in the regular order of business. Minutes, motion by Mr. Madonia, seconded by Mr. Del Giorno for the approval of the minutes of the July 8th, 2025 meeting. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Minutes are approved. Correspondence, motion by Mr. Del Giorno, seconded by Mr. Madonia to place correspondence on file with the clerk. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Correspondence be placed on file with the clerk. Resolutions, resolution number 1, Mr. Clerk.
Resolution 1, resolution approving the planning year 25 agreement with the Springfield Sangamon County Regional Planning Commission for the planning year 2025 Unified Planning Work Program in the amount of $39,500.
Motion by Mr. Miller, seconded by Ms. Scaife to place resolution 1 before the board. Questions, comments from members of the board on resolution 1? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Ayers.
Yes.
Canman.
Yes.
Constant. Davsko. Diener. Del Giorno. Depi. Douglas Williams. Forsythe. Fulgenzi. Guyton.
Aye.
Hall. Krell. Madonia. McGuire. Mendenhall. Miller. Rader. Scaife. Shepherd. Small. Stump. Thomas. Chumlin. Truax. All 25 approved.
All those voting having voted in the affirmative, resolution 1 is adopted. Resolution 2, Mr. Clerk.
Resolution 2, 2025-013, Forsyth Family Spalding Home Trust, 5,000 to 6,000 block of Dickerson Road, Sherman, granting a rezoning and variances.
Motion by Mr. Mendenhall, seconded by Mr. Rader to place resolution 2 before the board. We're now entering the zoning portion of the meeting. It's our policy to ask if there are members of the audience who wish to speak in opposition to the proposed zoning. In opposition. Seeing none, are there members of the audience who feel it's necessary to speak in support of the proposed zoning? Seeing none, Mr. Mendenhall, you have a motion?
Since we have no opposition, I move we waive the staff report.
Is there objection? Without objection, so ordered. On the resolution, questions, comments from members of the board on the resolution? Seeing none on the question, all those in favor of adopting resolution 2 and granting the zoning signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The zoning is granted. Resolution 3, Mr. Clerk.
Number 3, resolution approving the procurement of goods and/or services for the Sheriff's Office from Allison Long, DMD, for the purpose of inmate dental services in the amount of $35,000.
Motion by Mr. Chumlin, second by Mr. Ayers, to place resolution 3 before the board. Questions, comments from members of the board on resolution 3? Seeing none, Mr. Madonia, you have a motion?
Yes, I move that the roll call vote for Resolution 1 stand for the roll call vote of Resolution 3.
Seconded by Mr. Del Giorno. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Resolution 4, Mr. Clerk.
Number 4, resolution authorizing the execution of a mutual aid agreement with the Illinois Coroners and Medical Examiners Association.
Motion by Mr. Chumlin, seconded by Mr. Cannon, place resolution 4 before the board. Questions, comments from members of the board on resolution 4? Seeing none, Mr. Madonia, you have a motion.
I move that the roll call vote for Resolution 1 stand for the roll call vote of Resolution 4.
Second by Mr. Del Giorno. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Resolution 4 is adopted. Motion by Mr. Madonia, second by Mr. Del Giorno, to waive the 10-day filing period. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 10-day filing period is waived. Resolution 5, Mr. Clerk.
Number 5, resolution approving review fees and building permit fees for the hub to the city of Springfield in the amount of $299,607.57.
Motion by Ms. Depi, second by Mr. Constant, to place resolution 5 before the board. Mr. Del Giorno.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I move to consolidate resolutions 6 through 14 with 5.
Second by Mr. Madonia. Mr. Clerk, will you please read resolutions 6 through 14?
My pleasure. Number 6, resolution approving a project labor agreement between the Central Illinois Building and Construction Trades Council and Sangamon County. Number 7, resolution approving the procurement of goods and/or services for information systems from Tyler Technologies for the purpose of integrating the Tyler Time and Attendance and Advanced Scheduling module in the amount of $193,000. Number 8, resolution approving a grant application for public health from the Illinois Department of Public Health for the Public Health Emergency Preparedness Sangamon County Program in the amount of $83,194.95. Number 9, resolution approving a grant application for public health from the Illinois Department of Public Health for the Public Health Emergency Preparedness Menard County Program in the amount of $35,278. Number 10, resolution approving a grant application from the Land of Lincoln Workforce Alliance for the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity for the fiscal year '25 supplemental state grant in the amount of $199,913. Number 11, resolution authorizing the county administrator to settle Sangamon County's claims in the opioid lawsuit against defendant Sandoz in the amount of $234,336.02 and execute on the county's behalf any documents necessary to effectuate and finalize the settlement. Number 12, resolution approving the procurement of goods and/or services for the Springfield Sangamon County Regional Planning Commission from Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly Engineers and Consultants, CMT, for the purpose of providing consulting services in the amount of approximately $199,726.41. 13, resolution approving an ambulance service agreement between Sangamon County and Prairie Land Community Ambulance Service Company. Finally, number 14, resolution amending the Sangamon County, Illinois Schedule of Selected Fees to exempt Joseph E. Meyer and Associates and Capital Townships for being charged for recorder services, including Laredo Access.
On the motion to consolidate, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion consolidates agreed to. Questions or comments from members of the board on the resolution says consolidate? Mr. Hall?
Chairman, if we're talking about number 5, or will we pass number 5?
No, we are on number 5. 5 and all, 5 through 14.
Turn your mic
Thank you very much.
Mr. Hall,
Oh, my microphone's not on.
Yep, there you go. Thank you very much. I'm going to vote no on number 5. I just disagree that if you would build any project in any other community in Sangamon County besides Springfield of New Berlin, Pleasant Plains, and the area that I represent, and wherever, I don't think we'd charge you $300,000 to for permits. I think it's very insulting with Springfield to do this. And you can say it's a state law, but you know what? We are trying to be partners with this community, and they're wanting to find any way to make sure that they get every penny out of building a project inside Springfield. And quite honestly, I'm frustrated with this town. And I just want to vote no on number 5, but I want to vote yes on everything else.
the record will
God, I
reflect.
wish somebody would join me.
The record will reflect. Mr. Cameron?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, on that point, on the Building and Grounds Committee, I asked whether we had asked the city of Springfield to waive these fees, and I was told by staff that the request was made, but it was rejected. And I agree with Member Hall that, well, I'm not going to vote no, but I think the city really, to better our community, should have waived these fees. But apparently, this is the only way we can get this project finished, is to pay the fees. So I don't think we have any choice on that. But now I did have a question on resolution number 11. Do we know what this $234,336.02, how that's going to be expended?
Yeah, I think that's a question of professional staff, right?
Right.
Thank you. All proceeds from the opioid lawsuits are being used to fund inmate mental health services for our guests next door. We had a committee that we put together when these opioid settlements started coming through, consisted of some county board members, the public health department, sheriff's office, public defender, state's attorney, and the consensus of the group was that this would be the best use of these proceeds.
Would that include drug treatment?
I don't think.
Drug, treatment for people who are addicted to drugs. That's what I'm
Well,
talking
yeah,
about.
there has to be a connection. There has to be a connection with the opioid use, but the volume of people that have a problem in the jail warrants kind of blanketing the whole population with services.
We already had a program for
Yeah.
detoxing people who were addicted to drugs, but we didn't have a program for people who just have mental health issues. So this money is dedicated to that.
All right. And who is defendant Sandoz? What is it? A drug company or what? Who is it?
It's a drug manufacturer.
Drug manufacturer. Okay. And then on 12, that amount going to Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly, is that similar to amounts we paid them for this service in prior years?
So Number 12 is actually updating a study that was done so long ago that I was working in the mayor's office at the time. And it was the West Loop South Growth Study that was put together to anticipate future needs for road expansion on the southern edge of Springfield and Chatham and the western edge of Springfield. Things have changed since then. Growth has slowed down dramatically. There was a request that the Regional Planning Commission revisit these studies because the studies impact what type of roads need to be put in. And the feeling is that the volume isn't justified there anymore to support 4-lane roads being constructed in subdivisions. But we don't just decide that, we do the studies. So CMT is coming in to update these two studies, one of which I think was done in 2000 and one was done in maybe 2003.
Does this study include areas that are within the city of Springfield and outside the city, or just?
Correct.
So is the city of Springfield also paying some of these fees for this engineering firm?
This is being funded with a grant from IDOT.
Oh, okay, this is not county money we're spending.
It's a grant to the Regional Planning Commission, which then, because the volume and their relationship with the county board, it needs to come through the county board for approval.
Okay. And what is on the ambulance agreement, service agreement, what does this agreement entail? That's my final
So if the board remembers, there was a referendum in South County, primarily Tracy's district, a little bit of Craig's as well, to create a special service area. This has been done several times. The county board has to authorize it to happen. Then there's, in this case, a referendum. There was overwhelming voter approval in the referendum to establish an ambulance special service area. What that means is there will be an additional property tax placed on the bills for the residents that live in this area, and it's to fund ambulance service in the area. So once that was approved, the county did an RFP, and the selected firm is Prairie Land, which services the area now. They're out of Verdon. The area in Sangamon County that's being covered by this is the Sangamon County portion of the Verdon Fire Protection District.
So this is to cover the south part of Sangamon County?
It's, yeah, south. It's the Verdon Fire Protection District that is contained within Sangamon County. It also is in Macoupin County as well. Straddles both counties. And this will fund the service. It's going to generate the assessment. The special service area tax will generate about $100,000 a year. That will be used to fund the ambulance service. And the situation at Prairie Land is because of this funding revenue, they will not, those that utilize the service will not have their insurance charged for it.
Thank you.
Any other questions from members of the board on the resolutions as consolidated?
Chairman, I'd like to make
Mr.
a
Hall.
comment. I'll be real quick. Sorry. As I was driving here tonight, I drove through Chatham. I see the signs that say Chatham Strong. I think hometown strong. Whenever the ambulance service needs funding or our fire departments need funding in our small towns, they just put out a booth and money gets filled. And it's amazing to sit there afterwards and just count the hundreds and hundreds of dollars that people contribute. And our ambulance services are needed in our county, and thank you for being an ambulance service and doing what you do for our community. Again, almost like the coroner's office earlier this morning. I'm so grateful for you guys. I hope to never see you in my driveway, but if I do, I want to see you guys. Thank you.
Any other questions from members of the board on the resolutions as consolidated? Seeing none, Mr. Madonia, you have a motion?
Yeah, I move that the roll call vote for Resolution 1 stand for the roll call vote of 5 through 14 as consolidated. I guess minus Craig Hall's no vote.
All in favor of Mr. Madonia's motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolutions consolidated are adopted. Mr. Hall will be recording his voted no on resolution 5.
Shall reflect.
Old business, the chair is aware of no old business, new business appointments. Motion by Mr. Madonia, second by Mr. Del Giorno for the approval of the appointments as submitted at your desks. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The appointments are approved. Public comment. We have 4 people who have signed up for public comment this evening. The first person who signed up, in order they signed up, is Sean Miller, speaking on the VAC. Mr. Miller will have 3 minutes.
Sean Miller. I'm Sangamon County resident. Good evening. The truth matters. And tonight, I'm here to tell you the truth about how your county is treating our veterans and its taxpayers. The truth is, the county board chairman, the administrator, the board itself, and the assistant state's attorney have cost taxpayers an ever-growing amount of money. I can't even tell you the final amount because it's increasing every single month. The truth is, the VAC has done everything it can do legally, morally, honorably to serve those who have worn a nation's uniform. And yet, we are met with resistance, delays, and demands that undermine both our mission and the law. One example, the county has demanded to see attorney-client privileged information before they will pay our legal costs. Let me be clear, our attorney works for us, representing us in a case against them. According to Andy Goldman and the audit team, they will not pay without a complete scope of work and our lawyer before paying. This is not transparency, this is intimidation. Meanwhile, our team worked on a budget that the county has cut, yet we continue to deliver results. Every dollar cut takes away services from men and women who have stood watch in our freedoms. And then the county focuses on a building that meets some privacy needs, but strips away our human dignity. Decency, veterans now receive help in a space never meant for customer service, dignity, or respect. The county says they support veterans. I have walked the halls. I have seen their directions and decisions, and I live the reality. And I can tell you with certainty, this statement is not true. If you want to know the real story, how this county acts and affects people who defend your freedoms, come talk to me directly. I will tell you what's really going on because the people of this county deserve the truth. I have made it my mission to help veterans, and I will not stand quietly, silent, and hope for the best. I bring issues like these to the county starting November 2023. It is nearly 2 years in discussion with nothing more than empty promises, propaganda, and no closer than what we have stated for helping veterans. Our veterans stand for us. They've stood for you without hesitation. Now it is time for our country to stand for them, not with empty words, but with real action. Thank you.
Mr. Goldman, did you wish to speak?
You know, Mr. Chairman, I've listened to this for a year. I've listened to all these things that have been coming out of his mouth and others. And the fact of the matter is, we don't treat them any differently than anybody else. We want proper documentation, and we understand those client privileges. We understand that. But I'm not going to just take a line item and just say, I need you to pay this without some proper documentation. And we don't pay any bills in that situation until the Assistant State's Attorney's Office gives us the authority and approval. So that's what that continues to go. I want to talk about how he says how we listen, empty promises, and how we don't do anything. Let's just look at the record. You know, there used to be a show called Dragnet, and Joe Friday used to always say, just the facts, man. Well, I'm going to give you the facts. And the facts are, I want everybody to listen what we have done for the Veterans Association. I am a son of a veteran. I'm the father of a veteran. I appreciate what they do. But I'm not going to sit here and have somebody say things that just aren't true. And so I want to tell you the facts of what's been going on. So we did a comp study for the comparable employees in that office. What came back in 10 and 19 of 22, 10, 19 to 22, there's 3 positions. It came back with an increase for the superintendent of 29%. For the assistant superintendent, 40.3%. For the VSO, 62.8%. Then in 12/1 of 24, we had a comparable county salary study done. Total of 6 positions. What came back after that? an additional 10.3% for the superintendent, a 20.3% for the assistant superintendent, and VSOs of 31.2 and 27.8%. Then in 10-18 of 22, from 12-1 to 12-1 of 24, 26 months, the superintendent's salary is increased 42.6%, the assistant superintendent 75.6%, and the VSO 96%, 90%. Now, let's look at their budget, total budget. In 2022, their budget was $243,000. They spent actually $222,000. That's 92% of their budget they spent. In 2023, after the study was done, they had $306,000. They spent $320,000, which is 105% of their budget. We gave them additional 26% increase in salary for their budget. In FY24, we had $408,829. They spent $380,000. That's 93% with a 33% increase from above the previous year. And FY25, we've increased it 30% to $529,938. Now that's the facts.
Thank you, Mr. Goldman. The next person who signed up to speak from the public is Ashty Dawson. She's speaking also about the VAC. And we'll have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Ashty Dawson. I'm the superintendent of the Veterans Assistance Commission. I'm an Army veteran. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I have a certification in alcoholism and substance use. I've been with the VAC, since January of 2024. So I'd like to start off by sharing that the VAC had an open house last Friday, which was a great success. In attendance were numerous veterans and their families, community partners, and board members from the VAC and Sangamon County. Mr. Carl, thank you for taking the time to attend. We appreciate it. While in attendance, participants expressed their gratitude and concerns. Some chose to complete comment cards. This is what sits before you. I apologize. I have the copies in front of me, so I will leave them with Mary. Many comments raised concerns of which I have addressed through all the Sangamon County channels. Some exceptions are comments related to requesting handicap accessible entry doors, so just the push button entry, and additional parking. I look forward to addressing these concerns through your proper channels. Nonetheless, there was an equal amount of positive feedback surrounding staff support, with comments to include the staff is the best that I've encountered in all my years using the VAC, which you'll see those copies. And y'all do great work, and the staff is fantastic. The VAC staff is committed to deliver a higher level of care. We believe this is what our veterans deserve. Lastly, although this VAC staff are high performers, keeping up with the increased requests of services continues to be a challenge to manage. Since moving into our new office, new temporary office space, our interactions have nearly tripled. With that, our backlog has doubled every month since our move this past May, totaling 121. The increase directly correlates with the individual office space, making VSOs more accessible to our veteran community and strategic community outreach. Considering that the VAC has not been adequately housed and staffed for the past 5 years, this proves to be a challenge to adequately project the needs of the VAC. In the interim, despite adequate resources and support, we will continue to drive on. So thank you very much.
The next person who signed up to speak in order is Dave Rieger, also on the VAC, I think.
Good afternoon. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask for 5 minutes due to the lack of public comments and potential emotional response that I'm going to have. You could deny me, but I'm going to ask for
I'm sorry, you need more than 3 minutes for your presentation?
Correct.
For why? What reason?
I'm asking for that. You can say yes or no.
Let's see how you do in 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. Good evening. My name is David Rieger Jr. I am a resident of Sangamon County. I'm a disabled combat veteran, Assistant Superintendent of the Veterans Assistance Commission of Sangamon County, a proud advocate for our veteran community. I'm here today not to just speak for myself, but for every veteran who has been underserved, overlooked, or silenced. This is a call for dignity, accountability, and action. In 2024, I joined the VAC, taking a $20,000 pay cut as an administrative assistant, entering a field to advocate for a population that is near and dear to my heart. My father, David Rieger Sr., who is sitting in the audience today, served 33 years in the Army. I grew up an Army brat, watching soldiers raise their hands to risk it all. I took the same oath when I joined the Army and served as an intelligence analyst in Baghdad, Iraq, enduring daily rocket and missile attacks for 12 months. Transitioning out of the military was brutal. I faced financial hardship, mental health struggles, and emotional isolation. It took me 11 years to seek help from the VA. When I did, I was met with overworked veteran service officers and systematic delays. So I used my analytical training to fight for my own claim like a combat mission. In April of 2024, just 4 months after starting, I became the assistant superintendent. I didn't have a college degree or direct experience in veteran affairs, but I had heart, grit, and the support of Superintendent Ashley Dawson, who saw my work and my commission. Since then, I have led a team that works tirelessly, often beyond 9 to 5 schedule. Not because we're asked to, but because we love what we do and the people we serve. Since joining the VAC, I've attended numerous meetings with Sangamon County officials, including those related to administration, HR, auditing, employee services, building and ground, and legal matters. I can personally attest that we have faced repeated barriers from executive leadership of this county. Systematic challenges, budget shortfalls. In November of 2024, the county funded only 70% of the proposed budget, $200,000 short of our requested budget. A budget that was approved by our independent local governmental body, the Veteran Assistance Commission. We were told to justify our needs despite clear mandates under the Military Veteran Assistance Act. Shortly after, Chairman Van Meter.
Mr. Rieger, that's 3 minutes. Are you about finished?
I am. I cut this down from 7 pages down to 2, so I'm on the last page.
Okay, see if
Yes,
you can
sir.
finish up in a minute here.
After Chairman Van Meter was reported distributing propaganda to veteran service organizations such as the VFW and Vets, in December of 2024, following a VAC presentation Chairman Van Meter asked a county director, "Do you feel supported of this board?" A comment perceived as a direct jab at the office, especially given the board's refusal to fully fund the VAC. In April 2025, Sangamon County approved up to $300,000 in blown glass art for the building lobby. Unsafe work environments. I've had several mental health breakdowns due to unresolved issues. Frigid office temperatures, overgrown brush I had to clear myself, bright lighting, and an ongoing list of basic needs. I feel discriminated against as a disabled veteran, a minority. I've watched my staff become emotionally depleted. I believe our veteran community and staff are unjustly being treated. Disrespect and bullying. In July of 2025, at the Sangamon County Board meeting, Chairman Andy Van Meter mockingly called board member Sam Cameron baby doll, prompting laughter from other officials. This isn't just inappropriate, it's inexcusable. It reflects a pattern of bullying I've witnessed multiple times firsthand. We've submitted tickets, made requests, and followed protocol. Yet we've been met with silence, delays, and indifference. The VA first reported that 22 veterans die by suicide every day. Today, the number has lowered to 16. One veteran is too many.
Mr. Rieger, that's 2 more minutes.
I
How much,
call on the
Mr. Rieger-
board to address this behavior and uphold standards and respect accountability to our community that our community deserves. Finally, Our brave men and women swore to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Many of us have survived enemies. When will we receive relief from the domestic ones? This isn't about policy, it's about people. It's about honor, duty, and respect. Thank you for your time.
And the last person who signed up to speak is Ken Pesha. Mr. Pesha. Mr. Pesha is speaking on general county business. He'll have 3 minutes.
Evening, everybody. I only wish that I would find what I was speaking about on the agenda. I'm sure most of you know that the Massey Commission is coming to a close soon, although some of you may not know that. Never seen almost any of you at the meetings. In fact, I know for a real fact that somebody sent you an invitation to the most recent one yesterday. I assume you had something more important to do, as most of you seem to have done over the course of the last 9 months. I don't know if you guys think the work's done, if the problem's been solved, that you guys have rubber stamped enough motions or forced State Senator Doris Turner to walk it across the finish line, since you guys won't, since you keep defaulting to the state's attorney to say that you guys don't have the authority, or you're not capable, or it's not up to you, only to find out that it in fact can be up to you, that you guys do have those choices, that you could be providing more funding to keep them going. But it shouldn't be a last moment, let's rush it together so it looks like it matters to us. Because quite frankly, I already know most of their recommendations, and they're going to tell you that the work needs to go on. The Sheriff's Department's not fixed. It's not even close to it. We haven't even begun to confront the real issues that are endemic to a department that led to Grayson's hiring. Simply doing more stringent hiring practices is not going to prevent the damage that's already been done to the training of the officers that are currently on the force. And let's not even begin the discussion of the avoidance of fixing the problems within the county jail. I'm not going to blame you for people hitting bad wiring, but the simple fact that that even took people having to communicate that quote over the jail network, you guys didn't even put out a public release about it. You're an entire county-wide entity. Why was there no public release made about that until people made a large deal about it and started trying to communicate as to why inmates didn't have air conditioning or access to water in the middle of extremely hot temperatures? And I'll assume most of you have never been in one of those jail cells for any real extended period of time. It is balmy at best on a good day. So without that air conditioning, it is almost inhumane. So again, it's frustrating to me that here we are getting ready to close out on what you guys seem to think is a successful commission. Because if you didn't think it was successful, you would have attended. You would have put your own 2 cents in. Maybe encourage your own constituents to come out and voice their concerns. I know people get sick of hearing me and they think I'm too aggressive or I need to sit down. But quite frankly, you guys need more feedback. You should be hearing more from your constituents, because I'm out there talking to most of them, and what I hear about the county board isn't good. You may feel that you're responsive, guys, but it isn't meant to be an attack when I tell you you can do more. The conditions that led to Sean Grayson murdering Sonia Massey are still present. We have not fixed them by setting a commission on it and forcing them, again, to make a state senator walk most of those things across the finish line instead of avoiding the authority and responsibility that lies right here in this county board's hands. Thank you.
All right. Proceeding in the regular order, reports of county officials, reports of special committees, reports of standing committees, reports of the Committee on Claims. Motion by Mr. Del Giorno, seconded by Mr. Madonia, to place reports on file with the clerk. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The reports will be placed on file with the clerk. Motion by Mr. Madonia, seconded by Mr. Del Giorno, that we do stand in recess until the board's regularly scheduled September meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye. We stand adjourned. Gotta get something else.